I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 4 English lesson on shades of meaning. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts. We're doing grade 4. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of shades of meaning. So we're doing shades of meaning. So in our previous lesson, we did antonyms, and we said antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. So today we'll be doing shades of meaning. Shades of meaning. That is going to be our chapter for today. All right. So when it comes to shades of meaning, right? We said our chapter is shades of meaning. Our subject is English language arts. So we said our chapter is shades of meaning. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 4. And the lessons that we are focusing on under the chapter of shades of meaning, it is to describe the difference between related words as well as positive and negative connotation. All right. So when it comes to shades of meaning, then some of our words are alike. So some of our words are alike, but they have small differences in meanings. So some of our words are alike, but there are slight differences in meaning. And those differences we call the shades of meaning. That is the differences that you have. So once again, we say that some of our words are already alike, or they are alike, but they have all small differences in meanings. And those differences we call shades of meanings. So differences in meaning. All right. So those differences we call shades of meaning. For example, if we look at shades of meaning, right, we need to look at the word. Think of the word stare, peek, and glare. Look at those three words. All right. If we look now at words as well as a definition, these are now words we call this shades of meaning, right? All right. The first one says stay. Stay. And stay is to look at something for a while. That is just where you stay at someone. And people who just stare at you make you feel so uncomfortable because for some reason you know that someone is watching you. So we said the first word is stare. And stare is to look at something for a while. Just looking at you, staring at you, looking at you for some time. That is stay. The next one is peek. Peek. And peek is to look at something quickly. Peek is to look at something quickly. And the next one is glare. And glare is to look at something in an angry way. And if you look at all three of those words, right? We said stay is to look at something for a while, peek is to look at something quickly, and glare is to look at something in an angry way. And if we look at all three of those words, right, then stare, peek, and glare, they all mean to look at something. So all of these words means it's to look at something, but it is to look at something in different ways. All right. So these are shades of meaning. Shades of meaning, it's where we have different words, but the meanings are different or slightly different. Right? That is, for example, stay and glee and peak. We call this multiple meaning word. Right? And once again, we said some of the words are alike, but they have small differences in the meanings or in their meanings. And those differences in meanings we call the multiple meaning words. Shades of meaning. All right, so now we're going to A plus students.ca and we're going to look at describing the differences between related words. And we said words are alike, but they have small differences, and that is shades of meaning. All right. If we look at, for example, yeah, they want to know which is worse, but yeah, they're not giving us an option. And if we, it says which is more forceful. We need to say if slamming the door is more forceful or shutting it with a lot of force is more forceful. Which one is forceful? Shutting the door or slamming the door? All right. So if we were to say which is more forceful between slamming the door and shutting it with a lot of force, All right. So now we see that we have shades of meaning, different types of meaning. It's like where we have certain words that are kind of the same, but the meanings are a bit different. All right. So a word that is more forceful, we can say it is slamming the door. So slamming a door is more forceful. Which is shorter, a note or a letter? Something that is shorter, a little note or a letter? All right. So we need to say which one is shorter. Is it writing a letter or just writing and sending a little note? Yes, slamming. So which one is forceful? If we write a little note compared to a letter, which one is more shorter? Is it a note that I were to write or a letter? And one of the things that is more shorter, we can say it is a note. A note that you write to somebody can be on a piece of paper, can be on a cue card, it can be just quick and easy. A note is way shorter, than writing a letter. And now we need to say which is worse. Which is worse? Is it terrible or bad? Terrible or bad? Which one is worse? Something terrible or something bad? Something that's worse. Is it, do we say something terrible is worse than something bad? Or something bad is worse than something terrible? Which one is worse? And if we were to say something is worse, then we can say it is terrible. Because terrible is very bad. Terrible is something very bad, right? So now we're going on to a test where we're going to describe the difference between related words. right, so now let's go to our test, where we are going to describe the difference between related words. We need to say which one is bigger. Is it a hill is bigger or a mountain is bigger? Which one is bigger, a hill or mountain? All right, so which one is bigger? And if we were to say which one is bigger, we will say a mountain is bigger than a little hill. All right, so a mountain is bigger than a hill. We now need to say which one is better. Which one is better? All right, so we need to say which one is better. Is it something pleasant or something delightful? Something pleasant or something delightful? All right. We now need to say which one is better. So we need to say which one is better. Is it something pleasant that is better, or do we say something delightful is better? Something pleasant or delightful? And if we were to choose the correct one, let's see. Something delightful. Yes, well done. Option two, something delightful. Which word shows anger? Which word shows anger? Is it glare or is it glance? So, which word shows anger? Is it glare or is it glance that shows anger? Option one or option two? All right. And the word that shows anger is glare. Because remember, we said earlier on, glare is when you are looking at something, but you're looking at something in an angry way, right? So glare shows anger. Glare shows anger. Glance, right? It's like where you are looking at something hurriedly, quickly. That is glance. So glare is, it shows anger. So well done. Option one is correct. Which is often worn by a team. Which is often worn by a team. Is it a uniform, option one, or a costume, option two? So, which often is worn by a team? Does a team have a uniform or does a team have a costume? So, does a team have a uniform, option one, or do they wear a costume, option two? All right. And something that is often worn by a team is a uniform. All right. So now we need to say which one is larger. Which one is larger? It is bigger. It is larger. All right. Something that is larger, a meal. Because remember, a meal is where you have your proteins and your this and your that and your starch and everything is on there, right? So whether you're having breakfast, lunch, or dinner, It is a whole meal. A snack is just something that is like on the go. Can even be a snack bar, or a snack can just be anything that you're eating, but quick, quick. So something that is larger is a meal. So well done. A meal is correct. Which is not as nice, which is not as nice. Is it stealing something or borrowing something? Stealing something, option one. So which is not nice? Is it stealing something or borrowing something? And if we were to say something that is something that is not as nice, which is not as nice, then definitely stealing. Because remember, stealing is not cool at all. All right, stealing is not cool at all. All right. So now we're going on to positive connotations and negative connotations. So positive and negative connotations. All right. So we don't need to say when it now comes to positive and negative connotations. Negative connotations, right? When it's a connotations, it is the feeling or idea that goes along with a word or goes along with a phrase. And some words are close in meaning, but they have different connotations. All right. So if we look at, firstly, we look at the picture, we need to also keep in mind we have negative connotations and positive connotations. We can have two words, right? And then the word can be, for example, you have the word, the meaning of the word. Let's say, for example, like glare, right? It is also to do with looking at something, but it's more like looking at something in a angry way. All right. Now it says, with connotations, right? It is the feeling or idea that goes along with the word or phrases. Some words are close in meaning, but they have different connotations. We have positive connotations and we have negative connotations, right? So, an example of connotations, think about the words eager and impatient. Eager and impatient both mean wanting something to happen. So both mean wanting something to happen, but they have different connotations. All right. And if we look at both of the words, we look at the word eager and impatient. Eager is more of a positive connotation. And the reason why we say eager is more positive is because if you say, for example, oh, he is so eager to listen, he's eager to learn, he's eager to wanting to know more things, right? And then it means that he's happy, he's excited, he wants to know things, he wants to learn things, right? That is him being eager. But then we have impatient. And impatient is not a nice word. This is a negative connotation. And a person that's impatient is often very pushy and they demand. Very demanding. All right. So we need to also find the difference between negative as well as positive connotation because you'll have words that are the same or almost the same, but one will have more of a negative connotation or vice versa, or more have a positive connotation. All right. So now we said we are going to shades of meaning. We are describing the differences between related words. And here we made an example of stay and glare and peak, right? Those all three of that words, it's to do with looking at something, but it's looking at something in different ways. All right, let's go to our test. Yes, we're almost done. Which phrase has more a negative connotation? Which phrase has a negative connotation? Which has a negative connotation? It says talk about something, option one, or if you are boasting about something, option two. Which has a negative connotation? Is it if you are talking about something, option one, or if you are boasting about something, option two? A negative connotation. All right. And the phrase that has more of a negative connotation is, remember, if you're talking about something, if the two of us are talking about something, is that something bad? If we're having a conversation and we are talking about something, is that something bad? Or if I come to you and I boast about something, boasting is like you are talking with pride, you're showing off, you are, yeah, you see, I have this and you don't have that. That is boasting. So we will say boasting about something is more negative. Because you're not talking, you are showing off. You are like, you want to show off, you want to show that I have certain things, right? The next one says, which phrase has more of a negative connotation? Scowl or scowl at someone, scowl at someone, or to frown at someone. Scowl at someone or frown at someone. Scowl is when you are saying something in a bad and angry tempered way. It's a bad and angry expression. And we can say scolding at someone because your words are more hurtful and powerful than me just frowning and showing you faces. All right, let's look at the last one. It says, which phrase has more of a negative connotation? Is it me giving you a reason or coming up with excuses? Me giving you a reason, option one, or coming up with excuses, option two. All right, and coming up with excuses is more negative than giving a reason. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on shades of meaning. We said shades of meaning, it's where we have different words, right? That means similar things but in different ways. All right, we also have positive and negative connotations. It's the same like certain words that are similar, but some of the words mean something more in a negative way, whereas others are more said or mean more positively, right? All right, so this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade fours, for joining the class, and I really hope that you are going to have a good day further. So till next time, goodbye.